Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lives on a three-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia to attend G7 summit at Hiroshima in Japan. Prime Minister says his presence at G7 summit is particularly meaningful as India holds G20 presidency this year. Defence production crosses 1 lakh crore rupees mark for the first time ever in financial year 2022-23. Indian Navy's sixth and final Kalvari class submarine Vakshir commences sea trials. India says it is developing mitigation programs to reduce risk of losses from all hazards. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Rajasthan Royals at Dharmshala this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi left on a three-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia this morning. On the first leg of his tour, Mr. Modi will attend G7 summit at Hiroshima in Japan. Briefing made in New Delhi last evening, Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra said a Quad leaders meeting has been planned on the sidelines of G7 summit. Mr. Kwatra said on the second leg of his visit, the Prime Minister will reach Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea on Sunday evening.
We are also planning a Quad leaders meeting in Hiroshima with Prime Minister Kishida, President of the US, Prime Minister of Australia, and of course our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. After Japan, for the second leg of his three-country visit, Honorable Prime Minister will visit Papua New Guinea, which will include 1. The organization and the co-chairing of the third Forum for India-Pacific Island Cooperation Summit on 22 May and also some of the bilateral meetings.
Mr. Modi will travel to Sydney in Australia on Monday. Ahead of the visit, the Prime Minister said is looking forward to exchanging views with the G7 countries and other invited partners on challenges that the world faces and the need to collectively address them. In his departure statement, Mr. Modi said his presence at this G7 summit is particularly meaningful as India holds the G20 presidency this year. The Prime Minister said he will hold bilateral meetings with some of the leaders attending the G7 summit in Hiroshima. Prime Minister Modi will attend the G7 summit under the Japanese presidency at the invitation of the Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida. He said it will be a pleasure to meet Prime Minister Kishida again after his recent visit to India for the India-Japan summit. The Prime Minister also informed that he will be holding bilateral meetings with some of the leaders attending the G7 summit. On Papua New Guinea, Mr. Modi said this will be the first visit by any Indian Prime Minister to the island country. The Prime Minister said he will host the third summit of the Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation jointly with Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, James Marape, on Monday. He also expressed his gratitude to all 14 Pacific Island countries, PIC, who have accepted the invitation to attend this important summit. FIPIC had been launched by Prime Minister Modi during his visit to Fiji in 2014. On his engagement in Australia, Prime Minister Modi said that he is travelling to Sydney at the invitation of Prime Minister Albanese. Mr. Modi informed that he will also interact with Australian CEOs and business leaders and meet with the Indian community in Sydney at a special event. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida welcomed the G7 leaders in Hiroshima today ahead of the commencement of the summit. The leaders laid wreaths at the Peace Memorial Park and planted saplings there. Prime Minister Kishida, European Council President Charles Michel, US President Joe Biden, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, French President Emmanuel Macron, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen also posed for the picture. Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park is the only structure left standing in the area, depicting the aftermath where the world's first atomic bomb was dropped on the city on 6th of August 1945. Chemical and Fertilizers Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that growth of the country will be green, clean, sustainable and reliable during the Amrit Kal period. He said India is emerging as a global manufacturing hub and it is the best time to invest in the country, especially in the chemicals and petrochemical sector. Addressing the Asia Petrochemicals Industry Conference 2023 in New Delhi today, Dr. Mandavia urged the industry partners to focus on strengthening brand India by working with the mantra of pro-planet people. Speaking on this occasion, Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said the country is witnessing an important stride in the petrochemical sector. The Defence Ministry has said the value of defence production in the financial year 2022-23 has crossed the figure of 1 lakh crore rupees for the first time ever. It said the value currently stands at 1,06,800 crore rupees and it will go further up once the data is received from the remaining private defence industries. The current value of defence production in the year 2022-23 is a rise of more than 12% as compared to last financial year, which stood at 95,000 crore rupees. In a statement, the ministry said the government is continuously working with defence industries and the associations to remove the challenges faced by them and promote defence production in the country. It said a number of policy reforms have been taken to achieve the objective of ease of doing business, including the integration of MSMEs and startups into the supply chain. The ministry said due to these policies in the defence design, development and manufacturing, there is almost a 200% increase in the number of defence licenses issued to the industries in the last 7 to 8 years. The Indian Navy's sixth and final Kalvari-class submarine Vakshir has begun its sea trials. Vakshir is scheduled for delivery to the Indian Navy in the early 2024 after completion of these trials. The submarine was launched on 20th April last year from the Kanhoji Angre Wet Basin of Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited MDL. In a statement, the Ministry of Defence said MDL has delivered 3 submarines of the Project 75 in 24 months and the commencement of sea trials of the 6th submarine is a significant milestone. It said this is indicative of the boost towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. As the Narendra Modi government is completing 9 years in office this month, Akashvani News is bringing a series of special stories on the initiatives taken by the government. Today we take a look at the government e-marketplace GEM portal, which is proving to be a jewel in the government procurement. A record procurement of 4,15,000 crore rupees has been made so far through this portal. More than 61 lakh sellers and service providers have also joined it. A report.
Keeping pace with the central government, Madhya Pradesh has registered its strong presence on GEM. Madhya Pradesh ranks 4th in country in terms of procurement through GEM. Madhya Pradesh has so far procured goods worth rupees 7,887 crore through this portal. Around 17,000 sellers and 19,000 buyers of the state have joined this portal till date. Of these, the number of MSMEs is about 7,000. Sanjay Chaudhary, businessman from Budhar, a small town in Madhya Pradesh, selling his goods even in the northeastern state through GEM portal.
मैं संजय चौधरी बुढ़ार जिला शहडोल निवासी हूँ। मैं जेम पोर्टल में काम कर रहा हूँ। जेम पोर्टल के कारण मैं बुढ़ार जैसी छोटी जगह में रह के पूरे भारत देश में काम कर पा रहा हूँ और पूरी पारदर्शिता से काम हो रहा है।
The most important feature of GEM is that it is contactless, paperless and cashless online marketplace. GEM's transparent practices and competitive bidding have helped government departments and undertakings save crores of rupees of taxpayers' money. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
Karnataka Governor Thawarchand Gehlot has invited Congress Legislative Party leader Siddaramaiah to take oath as Chief Minister and D.K. Shivkumar as Deputy Chief Minister along with team members of the Cabinet. The letter written to Mr. Siddaramaiah said the swearing-in ceremony will be held at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow in Kantirva Stadium. A Congress Legislature Party meeting was held in Bangalore last evening. During the meeting, Mr. Shivkumar moved a resolution to elect Mr. Siddaramaiah as the new leader of the Congress Legislature Party, and all the members in the meeting endorsed it unanimously. Our correspondent has the details.
Elaborate arrangements are being made at Kantirva Stadium for the swearing-in ceremony tomorrow. Former Congress President Sonia Gandhi and her son Rahul Gandhi and daughter Priyanka Gandhi are invited for the ceremony. Congress National President Mallikarjun Kharge has invited Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and National Conference Chief Farooq Abdullah. The CPIM leader Sitaram Yechury has also been invited. Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Ashok Gehlot and Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu are among the invitees. Sudhindra, Akashvani News, Bengaluru.
In Gujarat, a 3-day Chintan Shivir of ministers and senior officials of state government will begin at the Statue of Unity in Kevadia today. Chief Minister Bhupender Patel will inaugurate the 10th Chintan Shivir in the afternoon. Nearly 230 people, including cabinet ministers, principal secretaries, senior additional chief secretaries, district collectors and heads of departments will take part in the Shivir. A report from a correspondent.
Various topics like health and nutrition, urbanization and infrastructure development in urban and rural areas, training and capacity building for employees of government and autonomous bodies, and qualitative improvement in the education will be collectively deliberated in this Shivir. Apart from this, there will also be discussions and presentations on various topics useful for policy making. As part of the good governance model, this initiative was started by then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi, in the year 2003. Aparna Khun, Akashvani News, Ahmedabad.
Kiran Rijiju assumed charge as Union Minister in the Ministry of Earth Science in New Delhi today. Professor S.P. Singh Baghel also assumed charge as Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. After taking charge of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry, S.P. Singh Baghel met Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia at Nirman Bhavan. On this occasion, Mr. Baghel expressed his gratitude towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi for giving him this responsibility. A Memorandum of Understanding MOU was signed in Guwahati today for the development of Riverine Religious Tourism Circuit. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarvananda Sonowal and Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma witnessed the historic signing ceremony, which is poised to unlock a new chapter in the riverine tourism sector in Assam. Addressing the event, the Union Minister said the development of Riverine Religious Tourism Circuit is a huge shot in the arm for the tourism sector in Assam. India told the UN General Assembly that it is developing ambitious mitigation programs to reduce the risk of losses from all hazards. Principal Secretary to Prime Minister P.K. Mishra said India accords high importance to disaster risk reduction issues. Mr. Mishra was speaking at the Risk Reduction Hub event during the high-level meeting of the mid-term review of Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015-2030 that is taking place at the United Nations headquarters in New York.
In just over a decade, we have been able to reduce the loss of lives from cyclones to less than 2%. We are now developing ambitious mitigation programs to reduce the risk of losses from all hazards: landslides, glacial lake outburst floods, earthquakes, forest fire, heat waves, and lightning. In India, we accord high importance to disaster risk reduction issues. It is a central public policy issue. We have significantly increased funding earmarked for disaster risk reduction.
In IPL cricket, Punjab Kings will take on Rajasthan Royals at Dharmshala today. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. Last night, Royal Challengers Bangalore defeated Sunrisers Hyderabad by 8 wickets in Hyderabad. Chasing a target of 187 runs set by Hyderabad, Bangalore overhauled the score for the loss of 2 wickets in 19.2 overs. Earlier put into bat, Hyderabad posted 186 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. In Italian Open tennis, reigning Wimbledon champion and 7-seed Elena Rybakina will take on former French Open winner Elena Ostapenko in the semi-finals of the women's singles in Rome tonight. In the second semi-finals, Russia's Veronika Kudermetova will be up against Ukraine's Anhelina Kalinina. In the men's singles, third seed Daniil Medvedev will take on fifth seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in a blockbuster semi-final tomorrow. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leaves on a 3-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia to attend G7 summit at Hiroshima in Japan. Prime Minister says his presence at G7 summit is particularly meaningful as India holds G20 presidency this year. Defence production crosses 1 lakh crore rupees mark for the first time ever in financial year 2022-23. Indian Navy's 6th and final Kalvari-class submarine Vakshir commences sea trials. India says it is developing mitigation programs to reduce risk of losses from all hazards. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Rajasthan Royals at Dharmshala this evening. And with that, we end the Midday News.